Hey guys, so this is the Adventures of Eddie, or Deklan Eddie Season 1, or at least the story of it, because it was never recorded, but I'm sure a lot of you have heard these stories. Um, yeah. I'm sure most of you have heard these stories in other episodes, but... So the day we met was August 13th. Oh, balls. But so, yeah, it was, August 13th, Monday, 2018. Anyways, we met at gym, we had second period together. So that's how that happened, right? On the same day, the second story, Eddie slips in mud. And how that happened is basically he had summer school and like in fifth grade I'm guessing, and he thought that he had lunch in a portable, so he went the other way and he saw the class going the other way and everyone was like, Eddie, where are you going? So he comes running back, right? But he slips and falls in mud and he had to go to lunch with, or have, and the rest of the day with just blood all over his clothes. And I felt that was really sad. Anyways, here's the most famous story right now, in our history, with Declan, me and Eddie. And this is when he chased me with a gum packet. So it's another normal day. Me and Eddie are just playing around being stupid and idiots. When he finds a gum packet with used gum inside of it, right? He's like, hey Declan, look what I found. And I'm like, oh, great, right? He starts chasing me around with it, and we're running, right? And we go by the doors, the front doors, and then we go under the bleachers, and we're running, right? And I go over the table, but there's papers on it. There's a whole table with a bunch of papers next to the bleachers. Anyways, I slip and fall on my back. And the papers are just flying everywhere. Eddie falls down and he's laughing. Me and him are both laughing so hard, like you have no idea. Anyways, I get up and I trip. Oh, and I try going back under the bleachers, and then I trip on a pole and hit my head on the wall and fall on the ground. And then Eddie falls even more because he is laughing. Me and him are all laughing terribly, like. And of course, the snitches come over, and then they tell on us, and then we had to clean it up. I mean, it's not like we weren't gonna clean it up anyways, but I don't know. It was just so funny. It's had such a great day. And the next story, we have a lot of things. There's like two things that's happened in the course of these stories. See, we would always like, just for some reason we would walk across the lines, the middle line, because when we played dodgeball, we walk on the middle lines. For some reason, for some odd reason, we would never get hit. Like, it was so weird. I don't think anyone really cared. We just would walk on the middle line as slow as possible, and just we wouldn't get hit. It was really weird. We'd just be talking. It was great. Then there was also this one time where we would like pretend to be in a dodgeball, or I mean a volleyball game, and we would like, when it would get to me or Eddie, we would like take it and just run, and just like juke out everyone. There was actually this one time where this girl was chasing after Eddie, and he like juked her out, and she like fell and tripped and hit the bleachers. It was stupid, but yeah, that thing happened. There was also this one time where we had the volleyball, and we would always do this thing where we would hit it as hard as we can. We throw it up and then hit it as hard as we can. And we got like 4 or 5 volleyballs stuck in there, or maybe a basketball or two. So yeah. Now the juice in Mr. Megan's class. Shout out to Mr. Megan. You are such a great history teacher. I had so much fun in your class. I would love to go back, but I can't. Anyways, so, jeez. Basically, we would always bring the juice. And this story after this normally is what happens. But we would always bring the juices from lunch, and we would always put the bubbles in it and mess around with it and like mess it up completely. And there was this one time, like, where he threw it up, like, when class was ending, he threw the juice up, it hit the roof, came back down, and slammed on the table and popped. And it was like a bomb, like, straight up, like, it hit me in the eyes. Like, it was really weird. It was like a shockwave. Like, the juice, like, hit me in the eyes. It was so weird. And then we all just started dying laughing, and that happened. We just ran out of the classroom. Now, lunch cleanup, oh boy. This is something me and Eddie will never forget. We'd always get in trouble because of the messes, the huge messes we would cause at lunch. Whether even if it wasn't our fault, but even the ones that were our fault, it would be like milk in a bag, or like the giant messes, or like just like milk getting everywhere. Just really stupid stuff. We would always have to clean up the cafeteria because of this. And you know what? Shout out to the janitor. He's amazing. He would be always be the one that would take us back to our class, and it was so stupid because we would get there after attendance, so my mom would think that I'd be skipping classes when I really wasn't. Anyways, I always got lunch cleanup, and then my mom just like said I'm not allowed to because because I was always missing attendance, and she doesn't want anyone thinking anything. So like, because she thought that I was skipping, even though I wasn't. But it was just lunch cleanup and a missing attendance, and then I would get back like right after when it was done. So yeah. Anyways, so backpack switch up. Oh boy, you already know what it is by the title. Basically, there is a fire alarm, and it was third period. It was the end of third period actually, like close to end. And basically, we're all going out there. We're like throwing football. We're like messing around with Brandon Davis. We were like throwing people's shoes. We were just going nuts. And basically, me and Eddie had the same exact backpack. So we put it next to each other, right? And what happened is uh, the bell rings and the fire alarm stops. And so we, not knowing this, we switched backpacks. He goes to fourth period, and I go my fourth period. His was science, Miss Weiler. Mine was Mr. Smith. In yeah. So I didn't know this side of the story until he told me a few days ago. But he's in there, and he like apparently didn't even know it wasn't his backpack. He got in there and got like a piece of paper out and started doing work and still didn't notice it. So that was really dumb of him. Well, I mean he's usually pretty dumb, but um. So what happened here? Back to the story, like the real story. What happened? I mean, it did happen. It was just like his side of the story that I did know for a little bit. Anyways, I'm looking through my backpack and I'm like, wait a second. Oh no, it's not my backpack. It's Eddie's backpack. And I get up in the middle of class and I like go up to the teacher and I tell her everything that just happened. I get a pass to go to the office, right? I go to the office, the front office. I think it was C1. I think that was what the portable was. And I'm at the front office and I'm explaining, right? And I say, oh, it's Eddie DiSilvestro. We switched backpacks. We had the same one. And I was wondering, like, I was telling her, and then she told me his fourth period, what portable it was, what time it was, everything like that. And so I go in there, all right? I go all the way over there. These portables are by the gym and also by the field, or by the track field, where yeah. Anyways, what happened is I walk in, right, and the whole class goes silent. Everyone is staring at me, which, you know what, I don't mind, but it was just funny. The whole class stops and staring at me, right? And I walk in and I'm like, "Hey, Eddie," and he looks at me. He's like, "So what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Well, we switched backpacks," and we just start laughing. And I'm like, "Good job, Eddie," because he grabbed a backpack before I did, so I was not the one who messed up. He did. Anyways, he I give him back his backpack and I take mine back. And I walk out, and Eddie told me that everyone was just completely silent, and then just like a lot of people are laughing about it. Anyways, so the next one is right after Christmas break. This is when we had health in Miss Goff's class. Anyways, the pencil war was this really dumb thing we had between the girls. We would always like throw pencils at each other. We just had such a good time in health, dude. That was so fun. So the next one, smoking paper. This makes no sense. This might not make any sense. Eddie did this thing where it was actually on my FB Studios channel. Wasn't on my original one, I don't think. Yeah, it was on the FB Studios channel. But what happened is he would roll this giant paper into a ball and then have another one rolled up, and then like put the paper in his mouth and like put the other paper up to his mouth and like breathe in and then like just breathe out paper, and it would fall on the ground. And we recorded it and it uploaded it. Actually, one of the new seasons referenced that. He did that actually. So go check out the other seasons and you'll find the second video of it. So the charger was a great story. Here we go. And like I said, we always used to mess around. And Eddie was swinging around his charger because he's really just stupid. He hits me in the face and under my eye, and you see like 2 marks, and I start bleeding a little bit. And I'm like, oh, great, we're all laughing. We're all just laughing. And he's like, oh, no, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm sorry. Like, he's freaking out. I'm like, geez, relax. It's fine. And so it was so funny because we were still having a good time. My days are always good. Even though my channel just got deleted, I was having the greatest day possible. I was just good. My life is good. Everything's good, right? So, and then this one kid, they're talking. This girl looks at this boy, and she goes, man, he just got his face cut, and he's still having the time of his life. Dang, you can't even be happy for 1 second. And I just like started bro, that rose. Holy crap, that was like insane. Anyways, the start of 7th grade finally comes. We go over summer. I go to St. Louis. All that happens, and all that is it was great. And basically, we walk in. He has a red shirt and he has a new haircut and everything, and we see each other and we're like, bro, no way, it's been so long. We dab each other up and hug each other, and we end up going to class and talking. And well, I think you know the rest of the story. Hope you enjoyed this. Peace.